Wow, they're already going. Let's go. Third best of 3 of the day coming up. Trigger versus ByuN. They start so quick, guys. There really is no downtime in this tourney, eh? Bottom left side, representing the Shopify Rebellion, it is ByuN. Top right side, representing BASILISK, it is Trigger. Both players are 0-2. That means whoever loses here is eliminated. For the first time since we started watching the Masters Coliseum 7 together, someone will be eliminated. Trigger lost against Solar and Cure. ByuN lost to Reynor and... Who did ByuN lose to in the first play there, guys? Ragnarok, yeah, Shin. That's correct. That was surprising. Like, ByuN losing to Reynor did not surprise me. I kind of thought that Reynor was going to win that, but I absolutely thought that ByuN was going to beat Shin. Thank you for that. Trigger has defeated ByuN once in the WTL Codas, and it was a 2-0 victory. I'm sure he's done it once or twice in weeklies as well. It is maybe not likely, but I do think there is a chance here for Trigger, if he can play his best. Problem is that these games are awfully early for Trigger. I don't think that really brings out the very best of him. ByuN with a tiny misclick there. Can he save his Reaper? Yes. Accidentally fired at the Nexus. Stargate versus Cyclone and a Medevac. Trigger has a shield battery coming online in the natural. That makes me happy. Because if we play Stargate against Cyclones without a shield battery, we can just lose. Trigger is from Canada. He lives near Toronto. So it is, what is it? Not even, is it 7:40 a.m.? Jeez. Is that correct? Yeah. Poor guy. 7:40 in the morning, guys. Poor Trigger. Who wins this? Most people would obviously expect ByuN to win, but I hope that Trigger can play his A game. If he plays his very best, he's got a chance. Come on. Sick. I just got a little business opportunity, guys. It's amazing. I am happy. Something I'll gladly say yes to. Selling bathwater. Not quite what it is, mate. Trigger needs to move his Adept here because that Adept is in trouble. That's not so. I wouldn't drop this Nexus yet, by the way. I don't like the idea of dropping this Nexus yet. We are gonna have to fight near that Nexus without a shield battery. I don't like it. He has not done it yet. It makes me happy. In the natural with that battery, I believe Trigger is safe. He's trying to. Oh, I don't know about this, guys. I really don't know about this. Triple Cyclone and Medevac. Good micro on the Stalker at least. Can we take care of the Reaper? Every single unit counts. Close vote. We'll do that in a bit. I don't want to alt that right now. 5 probes, 6 probes, 7 probes. There's a Liberator or something in the main, guys. Something is killing every single probe in the main base of Trigger. The observer's not showing us. That looks like a Liberator that has killed everything. 16 probes, 17 probes. Show us the... Oh my goodness, it's unbelievable. That is 7:40 a.m. gaming here, guys. Trigger was very focused on dealing with those Marines, dealing with those Cyclones. And the Liberator sieges up on top of his main and kills 20 workers. And the Nexus gets cancelled. That is not something you recover from. 7:40 a.m. moment indeed. Obviously, if Trigger is sharp, if he's dialed in, he would see a Liberator show up on his minimap. He would get the alert that probes are being attacked. Ah, that's very sad. I mean, this game is over. Nothing I can say or do is going to change that. ByuN is a triple CC Terran. The Phoenixes may kill a couple of SCVs here, but they won't kill 20. He does not have enough energy for that, and on top of that, it's triple CC against 2 base Protoss. Oh. That is a GG Liberator indeed, if I've ever seen one. I saw the probe count. I saw like 4 probes die, 5 probes. I'm like, but I don't see any probes here battling like the Marines and the Cyclones. And then I just see it go up. 1 second. I was like, oh my goodness, that's a lip. And the Liberator was not shown to us. Well, I'm sure we saw it on the production tab, but Trigger did not see it. Trigger did not think about it. And ByuN was having the time of his life. Obviously, kudos to ByuN, guys, for being in the face of Trigger and like forcing Trigger to micro and pay attention to the Cyclones, pay attention to the Marines. Well, he knew that it was not about that fight. As long as that Liberator was doing its thing, he was more than happy with how all of that would play out. And in the end, didn't even need to fight, just ran home. Poor Trigger. That's it's one of the worst things as well. I mean, you think like, oh, okay, my Nexus is a bit late, but I am surviving against the Marines and the Cyclones. I kept the Stalker alive. This is not that bad, right? And then you take a look at your main, and your main is empty. As we hit a supply block as well. This is actually impossible, I think. If Trigger would win this game, I would say it's one of the biggest comebacks of the year 2024. And I know we're only 2.5 weeks into the year, but it will be one of the biggest comebacks for the rest of the year, guys. Battery Overcharge gets activated, but the Immortal still dies. The Pylon dies. That means everything gets unpowered, and ByuN is going to wipe the floor here with the army of Trigger. A single Liberator determined the outcome of this game. Kudos to ByuN. Good opening against the Stargate tech, obviously, of Trigger. And well, Trigger is going to try to pull a classic, and that is survive when he's in a world of trouble. But with 46 supply, it's pointless. GG gets called. ByuN takes a very quick 1-0 lead in this do or die best of 3, guys. Don't forget, the loser of this best of 3 is eliminated. Will be the very first player of the Masters Coliseum 7 that gets eliminated in this Swiss format massive group. Only 16 players qualified for this tourney. 12 of them through Kung Fu Cups, WTO Codes, and previous Master Coliseums. 4 of them through regional qualifiers. ByuN emptied the milk bottle. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's actually milk, guys. I don't trust it. In Seoul, South Korea, it's a much more pleasant time than it is in Toronto, Canada. After the Masters Coliseum is done today, guys, I got contacted by a Russian Protoss player called Naji, who apparently has a grudge match to settle with one of his friends. They are around 4,800 MMR and have the brilliant idea of playing a best of 45 against each other. 2 4,800 MMR Protoss players that like to all in are going to play a best of 45. I cannot promise you guys that I'm going to watch 80 games of 2 4.8k Protosses against each other, but I will be there for the beginning of it and I'll take a little look at it. So if you guys want to see a whole bunch of PvP today, feel free to stick around after Masters Coliseum. Top right side of Hecate, we are looking at the main base of the man who has this tournament live on the line in this game. He needs to win. Basilisk Trigger, the Canadian Protoss player, playing these games at 7 AM in the morning against our Korean Terran. I think still playing from from Solar's house, right? Or maybe he's got his own apartment now. He was at Solar's apartment for a bit, but maybe his move is completed. Shopify Rebellion's ByuN. Can't say too much by, but the TLDR is just that I got an email saying like, hey, do you want to help us record this video? And if so, let us know what you want for rates. And whenever they mention rates, it's always a good thing. So record a video and get paid? Hell yeah. I'm in, baby. I record videos all day, every day, and I normally get nothing, so I am absolutely in. A little January bonus for Roddy. It is obviously gaming related, StarCraft related. It's not rocket science to figure it out. But I'm happy. Let's hope for Trigger that we can have a better start, because obviously that was kind of painful. Finally a new music video. I actually, guys, I got a DM from Catrific. Because Take TV on his 10-year Naruto anniversary stream discovered my music video for the first time in history. Obviously, the German community thought it was very funny, and then people started leaving comments on the video. So the girl that I recorded the music video with, she DM'd me and she said, 11 years later, I'm still getting comments. I was like, yeah, that's because the Germans just discovered it. And then she said, haha, the gift that keeps on giving. So she thought it was funny. I'm glad that the German community had some fun with it. It wasn't really a secret, but I guess not everybody has been around forever. So ByuN was temporarily at Solar's house because he was moving. And I guess he had to leave his first apartment a little bit before he could join his new place. So Solar was kind enough to say, feel free to stay at my place for a little bit. Where can we find the video? I can give you the link after the game, man. I like how Dennis called me in the middle of the night. He's like, how did you keep this a secret? I'm like, Dennis, it's not a secret, man. It's been shared like 1,000,000 times on Reddit. It's been shared 1,000,000 times in my Twitch channel. Video has like 200,000 views. Like, it's not a secret. It's just old, but it is not a secret. Trigger is gonna go play Blink. Maybe does not want to have a repeat of that game one. Does not believe in the Phoenix here on Hecate. So we're just gonna go for a couple of Blink Stalkers. Are pro gaming houses with sleeping arrangements a thing of the past? I wouldn't say it's a thing in the past for pro gaming, but in StarCraft 2 it is a bit of a thing in the past. Maybe the Korea house is still running from time to time, but obviously a lot of people that are very good in StarCraft are getting a little bit older. And, you know, if you're 18, 19, you don't mind sleeping in a room with 3 bunk beds and 5 other dudes, but if you're 28, that's not really the way that you want to spend a couple of weeks. Living next to a bunch of snoring dudes that keep you up all night. So. And on top of that, there are just not that many tournaments that can really justify that kind of a lifestyle. A single Cyclone drop in the main is annoying. Can we break the lock-on? We cannot. So first Stalker dies, and ByuN doing a really good job, guys, of picking up that Cyclone, dropping it on the other side of the wall up. It's a good start again, guys, for ByuN. Saves the Cyclone, saves the medevac for now, kills the Stalker, kills 4 pros with just the tiniest of tiny drops. But if you are the snoring dude, then you might still get botted by other snoring dudes. ByuN still wants to get a bit of value. Doesn't care if his medevac is low on HP. Doesn't care if the Stalkers are there, as Trigger does not get it. Now it's so low on HP that if you leave 2 units behind, I think you can always kill it. Obviously a good start for ByuN, guys. Has killed 6 probes and a Stalker. Has not lost anything yet. Lorps, I was mingling all day, every day, mate. I spent a lot of time with people from my community. I don't know if you were in my Discord or something, but anybody that was in the Discord that wanted to meet me, got to meet me. And got to hang out in the hotel lobbies. I kept people posted on my hangouts and whereabouts. Only on the second day of the event I stayed a bit more backstage because I was sneezing a crazy amount and I didn't want to get people sick. So the second day I was hiding a little bit backstage, but all the other days I was out and about. Trigger says it's been enough ByuN of you dealing damage to me. I want to deal some damage to you, and it's not too shabby so far. Has killed a couple of Marines, bit of lost mining time, 3 SCVs. He needs more, needs to pay attention to the Stalkers in the center of the map. Loses one of them, goes for a recall. Not impossible for Trigger to survive this attack, but we need to start kiting. The Stalker count is very high, and I kind of like it. Maybe we can just YOLO blink. Maybe we can YOLO blink on the tanks. Let's go, mate. Yeah, why not? Why not? We have a War Prism here as well. Now we need to make sure we don't lose too much against the Cyclone and the Raven harass, because the Raven is going to show up in the main. That was very good, guys, for Trigger. Gotta say, a bit of a weird move out by ByuN, because he had like 5 Marines and 2 tanks. Still, very good job by Trigger. Staying alive. How is Trigger in this tournament? Trigger won the American qualifier, defeated Australia in the grand finals. So he earned it, mate. Hey, show us the Stalkers. What is the Observer doing? Show us the Stalkers. The Stalkers were battling the tank in the bunker. And it doesn't want to show us. It's way more obsessed with these two medevacs. Third command center coming online, but Trigger is already on 3 bases, guys. We've got +1 on the way, charge on the way. The Robo Bay has been warped in. As that Warp Prism there, by the way, scouted these two medevacs. I believe, at least. Hopefully Trigger saw it too. I know it's early. We have the Raven dropping an auto turret in the 3rd base of Trigger. We are supply blocked, by the way. 101 out of 100. So this drop can now be very annoying. I thought we saw it, guys. Our Warp Prism literally passed these two medevacs, but... Gonna send a couple of Zealots over to the corner of his main, but 2 or 3 Zealots is not enough to deal with this many Marines and Marauders. That warping could get cancelled, and it will get cancelled because the shield battery did not heal up that pylon. So now this drop is starting to find a little more success than it should. At least we warped in a few more Zealots. The Raven is now flying over the 3rd base. Maybe the Stalkers can kill the Raven, guys. Barely missed it. ByuN is finding a lot of success with this double drop so far, and he's keeping Trigger busy. He's finding pickups, slowing the economy down of our Protoss. We just don't have any units left. So for the 3rd time, ByuN is able to unload. First in the main, then in the natural, back into the main. Doesn't really get a whole lot done. We need that Colossus here. I don't think that the Raven has interference matrix, but obviously this is a pretty decent Terran army. There aren't too many Protoss units here. Shield battery overcharge gets activated. We can obviously heal up that Nexus as well to buy time. As the Raven is going to sync up with that double drop that's in the back of the main. Trigger is keeping a lot of units behind because he wants to just kill this double drop. Can we blink then? Finally, it's not enough Stalkers. This is where we needed the Zealots in the right spot as well. And ByuN is just kind of outplaying Trigger here, unfortunately. Can Trigger keep it together? Well, with the Zealots on top of the Marauders, I am hopeful. We cannot lose the Colossus. Down 30 supply. Don't lose this Colossus, please. We're going to blink forward. We have a Warp Prism to save it. Good job there. It went really bad for 30 seconds, but in the end, killing a couple of the medevacs. Maybe now killing the Raven, as I think that's an F2 Raven. Earlier, ByuN got away with it. This time around, he gets away with it too, because the Stalkers did not blink. Trigger is down 11 workers. He is getting +2 though, and he's also working on... I don't think he has thermal lens, by the way. His 2nd Colossus. So I think we have 2 Colossus out now. He's gonna fire up Colossus number 3. Did we see thermal lens, guys? Did I completely miss it, or does he not have it? I feel like he does not have it, but I could be wrong. I've been paying a lot of attention to the minimap since the WTL observer is not. 2nd Robo gets warped in, and a couple of sentries. It's not looking great, but there is a tiny chance. With +2 coming online and that 2nd Robo, there is a tiny chance. Anti-army missile goes down very quick on the battery overcharge there. I like it. With battery overcharge, I believe that this should be a good fight. The Zealots are finding some damage, guys, on the other side of the map. It's only 5 SCVs, permanently cloaked with a mine drop, but we have a cannon in the right location. So the first Widow Mine doesn't do a whole lot. The 2nd one should not do that much. Let's show the mine drop in the natural, please. Okay. Very annoying to now have to... Oh, that one is going to kill like 6 probes or so. It's actually only 3. Could have been worse, but we need detection. Medevac is going to fly over the Protoss army. ByuN shaking his head. ByuN definitely making a couple of beauty errors there, right? He just kind of forgets about his medevacs, or he just kind of rallies them home in very reckless manners. Trigger is now going to build Immortals, as Vikings are on top of the Warp Prism. Drasmith is saying no thermal lens, I think. I think you're right. I haven't seen it. Nobody is correcting me by saying that they saw it, so... I think it is indeed pretty safe to assume that there is no extended thermal lens. And that is a big oversight on Trigger's side. Even if we only have 2 Colossus, we still want to have extended thermal lens. Might go into Disruptors after these Immortals. I believe Immortals alone are not going to be good enough, because Ghost EMP and Marauders with Stim, I think, will be more powerful than a bunch of Immortals. Especially because these Immortals don't have like the sickest upgrades ever. It's not bad, +2 attack, but no army yet, no +3 anytime soon. The Trigger is just gonna try to survive. As he tries to get a bit of high ground vision there with a Stalker, but the Stalker gets picked up immediately. The Zealot run by kind of gets deflected by a few Widow Mines. 1 or 2 Marines is gonna be good enough to deal with these low HP Zealots. That looked like extended thermal lens. I didn't see it. I still don't think he has it, but maybe I'm wrong. But if I'm wrong, Twitchchat is wrong too, because nobody corrected me. No, he doesn't have it. He does not have it, guys. These Colossus need to get way too close. Confirmed at this point, he does not have it. Trigger's army is kind of trash. It is not fantastic, yeah. We don't have any real splash damage other than 2 Colossus that don't have thermal lens, so. But it is the kind of army that he can survive with. Like, backed up by a cannon and a battery, it is very difficult for ByuN to stim into it. Trigger's game plan is just to survive and then slowly but steady get a couple of disruptors or get anything else that's powerful. I don't hate it. That Colossus just cannot fight. Ay, ay, ay. So ByuN finds an opening. At the same time, he's going to battle at the third. 2 Immortals going to have a hard time. 1 Colossus is all by itself in the center of the map. Trigger is having a hard time here splitting up his units properly. And ByuN finds the 5th base. We have a very tiny recall. I don't know what this recall is going to do. 2 Stalkers and an Immortal will not make the difference here. I think that ByuN is just a bit too far ahead, guys. ByuN's army is too powerful. Unfortunately, I think we are about to say goodbye to our very first player in this tournament. And a double unfortunate is that it's to my teammate Basilisk Trigger. Obviously played very good opponents. Cure into Solar, into ByuN. There is no shame in losing to those guys. But everyone in this tournament is great, so it is never going to be easy. It doesn't help that this tournament is played at 7, 8 a.m. for Trigger. I don't think any of you guys will say like, oh, I play my best StarCraft at 7 a.m. Because I know I sure as hell don't. Like 10 or 11 is completely fine. Even I think 9 is acceptable, but 7 a.m. is rough. Even if you know it and even if you can get ready for it, it is still going to be difficult to be rise and shine and find your best performance. Find your A game. I think this is going to do it. The GG will be called in the near future. ByuN gets his first victory on the board. The men from the Shopify Rebellion will live to fight another day in Masters Coliseum. But he knows he needs to win 2 more best of 3s in a row if he wants to make it into the playoffs. For Trigger, the journey ends here. ByuN was his final destination. GG gets called. The 3rd best of 3 of the day is a wrap. ByuN lives. And unfortunately, we say goodbye to the man from Basilisk. 93% of y'all believed that ByuN was going to win today, and he did. And that means that we have 1 series left. And that is an upper bracket series between Maru and Dark. Both players, both are 2-0 at the moment. Both players have won twice and have not lost yet. That means the winner of the next best of 3 is in the playoffs. The very first player to enter the top 8 of this massive online tournament. Maru or Dark? Who will be the first nerd that can just lean back and relax and watch other people duke it out in this Swiss format? We're gonna go ahead and take a very tiny break, and after that we'll be back with a TVZ best of 3 to wrap up the 5th day of the Masters Coliseum. I'll see you guys real soon. Thank you all for being here. Hopefully you guys are having fun.